Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Money and Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Sheryka Alford, and she is.
Anntricia, Bray.
We're here to provide you with motivation to get out of debt, build wealth, and transform your outlook towards life. Today, we're going to talk about the dangers of comparison. I know back in the day, a lot of times we would hear people mention trying to keep up with the Joneses. So you try to do things, your neighbor does something, so you want to do the same thing so you can look like them. But today, I'm more so thinking about the dangers of comparing your progress towards financial freedom to someone else's progress. So that could cause some unnecessary self-imposed stress, if you will. Um, Looking at, say, I look at how far Anntricia has come, and I'm still struggling on step one, and she's on step three. So we're going to talk about the dangers of those types of comparisons.
Oh yeah,
How's it going, Anntricia?
that has a lot to do with mindset of people. I'm looking at the dynamics of family, and even as young children, you have the sibling rivalries, as they call it. Uh,
Hmm.
Children are naturally selfish. They naturally want what the other has, and no matter what they have, it's not enough. It's not good enough. It's not going to do. They're not satisfied unless everything is mine, 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 and I can get what everyone else has, just like they have. You may have two toys, and she has three toys, but you're not going to be satisfied until you have the third one. So it's no different when we don't attack those kind of behaviors, when we don't call that type of thinking into submission and subject it to change, we still have that. And so um, some people find themselves in that situation of wanting and comparing what everyone else has, only to one day wake up and realize that they're drowning in debt. So because sister so and so have it, I want it, I'm going to get it. And if she gets a number 10, I'm going to get the 11, just so that mine is a step or a cut above. Whereas you don't know if sister so and so can afford that. You don't know if she's already budgeted in. You don't know what she's sacrificing in her household so that she can have those nice things. Whereas you see everybody as a threat in that you must get it or you're going to be left out. And so we can really get ourselves into some emotional strains, like you said, which therefore in turns make a great impact on our financial futures. Me personally, I can't ever recall, excuse me, I can't ever recall comparing what someone else has, trying to keep up with the Joneses. All I knew is what was important to me, and that has and always will be my focus. I can't say that um, I'm going to envy you, Sheryka, because maybe you've been working on your financial plan for 20 years, and here I am in 2 years. I can't put that added stress on myself to say that I'm going to compare myself to you in your financial stability because you've been working on it longer than I have. Maybe in 20 years I'll get there where I desire to be. Maybe in the next 20 years I may surpass where you are, but I can't sit here today and say, oh, I'm going to compare. I want my financial um, stability to look like your financial stability. I can't do that because whereas you sacrificed and done the work over the past 20 years, it's just been 2 years for me. And so uh, it's a difficult place to be in, to go about comparing what you have to somebody else. And then also with the
Right.
mindset, what you see people do is because they can't have what Sheryka has, they just don't even try. because Sheryka's 20 years in and they haven't started. They just say, "Oh, what's the use? I've always been poor. I'm gonna die poor," and it just goes back to that generational cycle, so to speak, that we can accumulate debt and that it does us no harm, but in reality, it does.
Yeah. And guys, that's not to say not to look up to someone and admire maybe where they may be and let them act as a mentor towards you, because that's a good healthy balance, a good healthy relationship. But if you find yourself looking and then comparing and starting to feel, defeated and envious and those things, and that's when it gets out of whack, and it's no longer healthy. I mean, we all have our own individual lives to live. um, we all have our own paths to take. It's good to have someone to look up to help, maybe help you get to that next level. But what we're saying is it's dangerous whenever you start to look and say, they have this, I wish I had this and I should have this, and not actually going forth with putting in the work to get to that point.
Hmm. Yeah. So I wonder how much consumer debt our listeners have right now, uh, as a result of comparing and wanting what somebody else have. Because
Mm.
we just made it through the holidays of 2020. We're into 2021, and somebody got to design a bag for Christmas. So
I want to go get two.
yeah, so uh, we do stuff like that. Well, their kids have the latest uh, Nikes that came out, so I'm going to get my kids the latest. So uh, we don't want to do that. We don't want to spend the year of 2021 trying to dig ourselves further and further into consumer debt, which is unnecessary. Oh, well, sister so and so got a new car. Her husband bought her a new car. So then you go and you pressure your husband to buy you a new car, and just put yourselves in further financial strains emotionally. So it is a dangerous game to play. And many times, we're not even conscious of the game that we're playing, uh, in comparison, and trying to have the best. Let me just enlighten you right now. Even if you go out and get the best, with technology and the way that our world continues to move, even if you go out and get the best today, there's going to be something better come along tomorrow.
Not even tomorrow, in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, so we can't continue to play that game. Let's wise up. Let's be grateful. Let's find a attitude of gratitude and be grateful for what we do have, and understand that your worth is not wrapped up in your possessions. Your worth is wrapped up in the condition and in the value of your mindset, your ability to solve problems, your ability to resolve issues, your ability to um, just understand that you have purpose. And when you're living that purpose, when you understand that purpose, and you're seeking out those things connected to your purpose, that is where your value comes from. And with that being said, when you focus on that, it's going to make all the difference. And you will realize that you are one unique being, one unique human. There's not another out of the billions of people on earth. There's not another that is just like you. And with that being said, you understand that there's no one else in this world that you could or should compare yourself with, because you are just that unique. You are
Yes.
just that valuable.
Yes. And if you're just joining us here at the Money and Mindset podcast, we are talking about the dangers of comparison. Connect with us. Send us an email to moneyandmindsetpodcast@gmail.com and let us know, have you fallen into the dangers of the comparison game? And what did you do to break things? So just reach out to us and let us know.
Oh yeah, we love to hear from you, and also just as a reminder, if you specialize in the areas of finance or mindset, and you have something that you'd like to share with our listeners here on the Money and Mindset podcast, we'd also like to just invite you to be our special guest host here on an episode of the Money and Mindset podcast.
Yes, just send us an email. So we're going to wrap this up. And just remember, don't get caught up in the comparison game. Look inward and not outward for your value because, as Anntricia said, we are all valuable and we all have our own set purpose. So until next time, I'm Sheryka Alford, and she is.
Anntricia Bray Smith.
Be sure to like and subscribe to our show and share a friend, share with a friend. We'll see you next time.